Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brad Hurt. I'm back on the Edison suitcase home in the spring barrel, and I'll show you. I've ground it down with my grinder, and I've gotten this all smooth. And the next thing you do is I test the screws that hold the drive gear in place, and you see we have a problem here. See this move like that? So what happened is the head just came off. But when you look at it,
So you're supposed to have two screws in
you
there?
have two screws. This screw goes in. This screw goes in here and locks, and tightens down nicely. But this one broke. But when you look, if my sweet angel can focus in, you see how I have an indentation in the middle of the screw here? That's because in manufacturing, it was only hooked. There's like a bubble in the metal, and it was only hooked on the outside.
The screw was.
The screw was. When you turn this over, you'll see this too. I have a bubble, and it was all the metal. It should have been solid, but it's not. There was a problem in the manufacture of the screw. I always test the screws because I put them in and I flip it over and make sure they're not pointing out through here.
Can you leave it like that?
I can't leave it like that
Why can't you leave it like that?
because you could get away with it, but it has to have two screws to hold the gear in place with the power out of the spring barrel. So, and I'll tell you up front, I've never had this happen before. But what I'm going to have to do is I'll re-drill from this side, and you're going to have a drill press and taps and dies and everything else to do this. And I'll go through this side, and I'll redo both holes in the process. Luckily, we have this screw and it tightened down, but I'll fix this. I'll show you later in videos how I'm going to do this. It's complicated because you have to drill through,
Drill out the broken.
drill out the broken one. You have to re-tap it and then put in a new screw. And when you take out this one, I'm going to show you something, why the threads are boogered up. The fit of the barrel to the gear is very tight. But you watch this, the broken screw, it moves back and forth. This is not good. That means that the threads weren't good originally. And I always check all the threads. You know, this is a lot of fun, and sometimes we get a head scratcher in restoration, and that's my tip